I am gonna start us off with a moment of awareness because it'll be silent in the beginning, but I'll give a moment of pause to what's happening in Venezuela. Um, I heard that there are some civilians who got murdered as well, so I want to acknowledge that because that is an energy that's happening in the collective conscious, and I don't like to ignore things that's happening. I'm glad you're I'm glad you're still good. I am good as well. Today was kinda slow for me, but I'm good. Yeah, it's horrible. I'm hoping that, I just I don't understand why nobody's stopping him. That's that's my thing with what's happening. Like, what does he have on y'all? What is the problem? Or is he doing things that y'all want him to do? Just let me know. It's just strange. Mm. Did you get sleep or it's just like a different type of fatigue? And you may at certain moments hear the cat outside the door. Oh, EMDD. That will do it. Hi, Jackie. I was telling everyone I'm going to start with a moment of pause for Venezuela. Hi. Mira, I was asking you if it was Mira or Mira. It's Mira, right? Because I've been saying Mira. Thank you. You know, I was like, I can't be on live for 3 days straight. I only got 4 outfits. Thank you. I live like a cartoon character, so I just be in the same clothes every day, for the most part. But it's cool. Y'all gonna see me. None of y'all live where I live, so if you see me out, it won't be anything. There. We're complete different because when people call me Mandissa, I hate it. It is Mandisa. If you're South African, it's Mandisa. Like, please don't do it. Thank y'all for the dress compliments. I appreciate it. Okay. And hey, Barbara Anderson, meaning mama. I'm just gonna say hey, mama, when you come up because I don't like calling you by your name. But in a moment, we're gonna do a bit of breath work and do a moment of pause for Venezuela and the citizens that were murdered there today. Um, just to And Jackie, can you let us know your friend's name who's stuck in Venezuela? I forget his name. Oh, you figured out how to type today. I'm happy. I wanna put him in it. James Lucky. It's been wrongfully detained. So yes, there is a lot of craziness happening in this world right now, and it's been happening honestly. Just some things now are having are having a coming to the surface, and with Venezuela happening today, like today is Ojo Jacuta and Isheshe, which is the day we worship Shango and Oya, and Shango is all about justice. Oya is his wife, his fierce warrior who's always by her side. She's always about deep transformation and things that occur in there. So I want to start off by acknowledging what's happening in Venezuela and also invoking the energy of the Orisha that are there, that exist in this world. And when I was in Atlanta, I used to do a lot of going to the river, just prayer work and everything with Oshun. And one day when I was there, yeah, the president also got abducted. His wife too, right? And it's just a lot of chaos that's happening. And it's only for oil. It's only for greed. So it's only for them to rape this world more and more when we're already seeing the side effects of how much they're raping this earth. Like, please leave us alone. So you charge the guy in Venezuela, but not the Israeli. You know what? Um, I we're gonna start there. Um, I'm not the type of person to ignore what's happening, and even though I don't watch the news, it comes up and you see it, it's everywhere. So, like I was saying, Ojo Jacuta, Shango, or Yah, the main Orisha that we worship on today. Justice, okay, divine justice, not courthouse justice, but divine justice. Um, when I was in Atlanta a lot, I would pray at the river. One time when I was praying, somebody left this by me. When I opened up my eyes, they were there. There's like, yeah, this is an instrument for Oya. And as I was explaining to you all, she is the Orisha who is married to Shango. He has many wives, but she's the main one that goes with him when there's war, when there's battle. And so we're gonna pause. I'm meaning this moon specifically, sorry. Oh, you mean every Saturday? No, so okay. In Isheshe, the day fluctuates. So in Santeria and Lukumi, they have worship days that are the same exact days. Like every Friday, they worship Oshun. It's not like that for us. Our day exists on a 4-day calendar, and it repeats itself the 5th day. So today is Ojo Jakuta, which is Shango, Oyam. Tomorrow is Ojo Usa, which is Obatala, ancestors, typically Iyami, but you can do Iyami any days. After Ojo Usa is Ojo Awo, which is Ifa, Oshun, Ajay, Wealth Orisha, so many other Orisha as well. And then we have Ojo Ogun. Ogun and his brother Ochosi, and there are others as well. And then it repeats itself again to Ojo Jakuta. So today is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. On Wednesday will be Ojo Jakuta again. So our tradition in Isheshe and Yoruba land is different than how they do it here in the US. But I'm going to repost or have the replay available Wednesday for that first video we did yesterday. I'm going to show it Wednesday. And in that post, I'm going to remind people that this is Ojo Jakuta again, to bring up the energy of praying and just meditation for justice, divine justice for all that's happening here. So I'm gonna start us off a bit today, and we will. And there are different things you can do with the Orisha on different days. Like I'll go into it another day. Sorry. Let me focus. We're gonna do a moment of pause, and it will start off silent, and then I will play this for y'all instrument. If you know that, if anybody who's watching the playback knows the name of this, please let me know. But we will, when you hear this noise, don't break out of your meditation, stay in it, and we're just sending the vibrations of divine justice to out in this world, but especially to Venezuela, the citizens of Venezuela who were murdered, to James Lucky, who is there wrongfully detained, to the president and his wife, divine justice to even this earth right now, who is the real reason why they're there in the first place, to suck up all the oil. So if we all could just take a moment of pause and we ask for the spirit of Shango, Oya, to surround us in this moment, to hear our deepest cries and pleas at this moment, and to help all of those who are hurt in Venezuela and affected by the actions of 45 in this moment. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Oh. Kawo Kebiesi, Yansa. We greet you and we thank you. Sheol. All right. Can come out of it now. Thank y'all for joining me in that moment. It's something I've had to do. I'm not a big fan when there's something crazy that happens, and especially where I came from, like the code I was in, people was just like, oh, don't worry about the outside world. We have to. We are part of it. So I really appreciate y'all for joining me in that. And so I'm going to try to transition us to this full moon reading in Cancer. And while we're here today, ironically, it is the moon that charges us to look at the way that we were nurtured, the way that we belong. And yesterday's live, we spoke on a lot of things, but most paramount was, for me, the self-care portion of, like, what do we need to do to nurture ourselves? And because the state of this world is so chaotic, the nurture is going to be extremely important to continue to nurture ourselves, not just for this full moon, but throughout this entire year. I really want us to use what the information that's coming out on these 3 days, for us to use that for the entire year going forward, because the energies and the powers, I don't even call them powers, those people who deem themselves to be powerful, they're not gonna stop, So, they will be stopped, but they won't have any volition within themselves to stop. And so we have to learn to nurture ourselves during these times. So the things in terms of self-care that came up was making sure that you're aligning yourself with friends who are nurturing and who pour into you, um, and release those who do not, because that can be draining. And the importance of affirmations, positive affirmations, speaking that over yourself, over your life. So there's a lot of negativity happening today. Instead of, yes, it's like I said in the live about the power of the tongue, making sure we're seeing those things and we're praying for peace. Our focus is on peace, and our focus is on love, and not the simple love that people think love is. Love is a very powerful and very accountable energy, right? You cannot say you love someone without accountability being a part of the process, and without wanting them to evolve and elevate, that being a part of the process too. That is what love is. And also divine justice, needing that as well. So when we're doing these affirmations for our personal selves, yes, but also when we're giving energy and affirmations to what's happening out there in the world, making sure we're using those words: peace, justice, love for humanity, elevated love for humanity. Um, the other card that fell was make a meal. So it's soup season. And I love to make soups in this season, not freeze it, and then I come back to it. Soups are good because it's like I was telling Sean yesterday, you can literally use it as your potion making. You can speak your affirmations over it if you're sick, or whatever you want. Like, I don't even be sick, and I put love in it. Like, whatever you want to bring forth in your life, use whatever food you're doing when you're chopping up vegetables, massaging your greens. That energy that you're putting in your food, be very intentional with positive affirmation. And the last card was create art. Um, and Jackie asked a good question about, like, what are you creating right now during this time that can be nurturing for you, nurturing for your inner child self, nurturing for who you are right now, and nurturing that will be nurturing for you in the future. One of the things for my personal reading that I put for myself, because when I do these things with integrity, I like to read myself first, is that one of the things that came up for me is, like, the importance of looking long term at things. So it's not just the things that I'm doing for this now or for this moon cycle. It's long term. What I'm pouring into myself now, how can it feed my future self? How can it benefit her? So our present moments make up the experience that we have in the future. So today's reading we're gonna get a collective reading on the energy of this full moon in Cancer. And today, after I do this collective reading, I'm also gonna do a shadow reading for everyone. If you go to my site, this is gonna be similar to the total calibration reading, with shadow work, but it's not doesn't go as deep. But I want to do this because I want us to reflect, to do some reflection questions. In this book, it comes with the reflection questions that I think that I know will be very good for this moment. Um, so yeah. Elevated spirits who guide us, speak to us, who support us in our elevation, come to you asking you to provide us with information, wisdoms, insight, energy of the full moon in Cancer. What energies are surrounding us that may be affecting the way that we can nurture ourselves, the way that we can pour into ourselves, not just for now, but for long term. Okay, so the first card that fell was the Fool. And I love this card, the Fool, because it's all about new journeys. We are here in this new year that's occurring. And it's its importance to like embrace this newness with enthusiasm. And for me too, it's speaking on the importance of nurturing our inner child as well. Because children in general, they generally look at life in full energy. And I don't mean fool like you're stupid. I mean fool like not being afraid and not having fear in our hearts around what could, should, maybe could happen. It's like going into newness without fears and anxieties. That's what the Fool is invoking us to do. So a lot of us are in transitional spaces in our lives. Don't allow the newness or the uncertainties to bring you down. Embrace it. Understand it's a part of the process. And invite in the fact that because it's a new experience, it's a new journey, that means there's also opportunities there. What's crossing that though is the Five of Cups. Oops. So that's how I pull it. So the Five of Cups is here, right? We're not even able to truly embrace it because we're crying over spilt milk, so to speak. We're looking at the past and the emotions that live there, and we can't even allow ourselves to see the opportunities in the moment. And if we look to our left, behind her is two cups that's standing up. So there's still opportunities there. She still has things. She still has, we as individuals, we still have our intuition. We still have our willpower. We still can go and do things, but it's our perspective that's in the way. So there's a deep, what this full moon in Cancer is asking us to do is to like acknowledge the past, cool, but stop living there. Stop living there so that we can experience the beauty of the full, and so that we can further embrace the emperor energy that's wanting to come through. The emperor is not afraid. Um, the emperor is interesting because tarot has nothing to do with Orisha at all, but or Indian, I should say. There's a lot of Jakuta energy when you learn about the emperor. Shango is extremely about fire. The emperor is led by or ruled by Aries. So there's this warrior energy, this energy of like clarity, of certainty. Stop dwelling in the past, stop dwelling on our failed mistakes, on the things that we did with the best of our abilities but didn't make it. It's cool. It's there in the universe. It's still living. It's now time to pick up those pieces and to go and to do things by using the emperor's energy, by using our inner fire, by using even invoking our solar plexus. Because remember, Cancer rules the stomach. So that area is all Cancer energy. Go and allow ourselves that meditation I did in the beginning of yesterday's live when it's observing the stomach space. Observe our energies throughout this entire year. And when we feel that tightness in our stomach, that's that fear trying to communicate with us and keep us stuck. Put breath into that, release it, and move forward. Also, in this time with Emperor energy is also the experience of, or the importance of delegation, because sometimes there's a lot of stuff on our plate. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to lean in on community. Don't be afraid to embrace even family that may be there, family that you have, or family that has come up in any unorthodox ways in friendship. Lean on that. Lean on them. Lean on their gifts as well. When we talk about, you know, the state of this world and what it's in and how do we change it, it's going to take a community of us to change it. And it doesn't mean that everybody in that community has the same belief systems, the same spiritualities, the same looks, views, thoughts. But it does mean that they're aligned with this energy of, okay, we need some change in this world. We need to restore this world. We need to make this earth more healthy. And we need to treat each other better. Okay, let's do that. If the thoughts are similar, it's only in that way. It won't manifest itself in the same religious views, but during this time, embrace the family that you have. That's the way that we're going to gain our confidence to be in our emperor energy and also gain our confidence to step into the goddess of swords. And this is a woman that knows what she knows and who's not afraid. So she here is the complete and total opposite of she. So let's tune into her. Anything in the past, any hurts, any trauma, let's learn how to alchemize this so that we can walk into our new paths with confidence and certainty, with extreme, I don't want to say she's cutthroat, right? But with this card comes the ability to truly speak your truth and not being afraid of what anybody else's thoughts, questions, or concerns, right? It's like, is this the truth? Right? And speaking that and not letting these emotions get in the way, not letting the chaos in the head get in the way. It's like I've mastered my mental space and I know what I know and I see what I see. Let me speak truth to it. Let me speak light. Now's the time for us in this season and going forward to use our voices as our power and to stand in it. Everybody on here has a very, very powerful voice who they know exactly Yeah, because I know everybody personally on here, y'all know exactly what y'all's gifts are. Um, but yeah, yes. So it's all coming back around full circle. I love that. Let's stop crying over spilled milk. So now I gotta go back and read that. But yes, walk in our paths now. Um, stand in our paths, that stand in our truths, in our voice. Again, it goes back to that solar plexus work. And with that, it goes back into the solar plexus work because with that will come a natural balance and synced out throat chakra and that knowing and identity in the comfort of who we are, being comfortable with who we are. So that is the overall energy. Oh, shit. When you said lean in community, asking for help, it resonates as connecting with some of you on here. Right on time and confirmation. Yes, community cannot be ignored. Even when we try to bridge builders, come on now. That is very true. Even when we try to run away from community, it always comes back. Because, okay, now I ran away from community. I think I could do it myself, but now I got burnout. And now I need to depend on somebody. Anybody else want to share reflections on that portion of the reading? While you're sharing, I am going to do this shadow reading. I'm asking what may lurk in our shadows that prevent us from walking in our truths, from speaking our truths, and that may prevent us from walking away from old patterns, old emotions, as well as what may prevent us from leaning into community. Now is the time that you will need to use your pen and paper if you don't have it already. Card that came up for us is versatility. It's number 16, 7, completion. Oh, and I flipped right to that card. The shadow of versatility is indifference, and the siddhi is mastery. So I've been saying this entire time that this is the year of masteries, the year for us to master ourselves so that we can truly manifest what we are deserving of. And what better way to start with mastery of self is with emotions, because emotions are what happens. It's like the gateway of what happens right before things turn physical. So versatility, I'm going to read to you what it says. The gift of being versatile is the ability to pick up any skill that is needed and use it for a single aim, for the betterment of humanity and the service of the whole. It's talking about that community portion. And my gift to you, when I look into your eyes, I see a great potential for talent and versatility. I am here to remind you that although talent requires persistent effort, everything gets easier when you take a stand for your true passion. Trust in your enthusiasm, Risk being different, learn to let people down. I promise you, finding time to do what you love will get easier. Finding your people will get easier. Asking for help will get easier. Sharing your fears will get easier. Even hard work will get easier because everything you do will be fueled with love. Eventually, your knowledge and skills will become such a deep part of you that you will be playing and improvising with life itself. Service and sustainability will just naturally happen. You are more ready than you know. That's exactly what we've been talking about. That's exactly that Queen of Swords energy. That's exactly what we've been talking about in terms of community building, asking for help. Right. This is exactly it. And so, and even when I look at the cards, all this green that's there, all that heart chakra work, that's really our electromagnetic field, bringing things to us with our heart. The importance of keeping our heart open to even attract a healthy community. And a part of versatility is also accepting other people's versatility as well and accepting how they show up differently. Like this man is very eccentric. He has those stretched out earlobes. I used to do that. He is just like embracing not only what people may look like, how they may show up. Um, I have tattoos. I used to have a lot of piercings in my nose, in my face, eyes, here, like everywhere. Um, and I got a lot of judgments based off of how I looked. But you can never judge somebody's gifts and who they are by simply how they look. And so that's not just it's not just surface level in looks, but it's just like in how people's gifts may show up as well. And I like too what they said in this book about not being afraid of letting people down. That is Goddess of Swords energy for real, for real. um, and truly just because it requires you to truly live in your truth to not care about those things. Because if we're in real community, then we can have disagreements, we can have letdowns, and it not be a detriment to the entire relationship, to the entire community. So a part of these questions are questions for, or a part of this book that comes with it. They have questions for contemplation. I'm going to choose a couple for us to do, and I'm going to do them with y'all to just write on and reflect on. Mm. I want to ask this first question because it kind of ties into the question I asked about, the part where we opened up about Venezuela and the state of this world. So it says, where have you given up on yourself and the world? So, yeah. Not just you, but the world as well. Where have you given up on the world? Where have you given up on yourself? And we'll take, let's do 7 minutes. Oh, Misha. Hi, Misha. Did you miss the question? I just did the reading for the new year, not new year, the full moon in Cancer. I pulled the shadow card. Right now we're doing some shadow work. And the question is, where have you given up on yourself in the world? So where have you given up on yourself and where have you given up on the world? Community has come up a lot in this reading. And so if we're truly wanting to bring in community, we do have to look at how we have given up on this thing in terms of community. You're okay. Where, where have you given up on yourself? Where have you given up on the world? Give us 5 more minutes. No, I go live every Sunday, and I used to go live every Monday, but I'm gonna change that to Wednesdays. So Sunday and Wednesdays. Sundays are for, typically for paid subscribers, but today or we're gonna do it for, tomorrow we're gonna do it for everybody because I'm doing this 3-day full moon and Cancer series. And Wednesdays I'm gonna go live, and I think kinda sorta about going on live every full moon and every new moon just to do these readings because I typically post them in the subscriber chat in general. So it's like maybe I can just post it on live and do it. Thinking about that though. But Sundays and Wednesdays for sure. Okay, so and y'all, Misha is a yoga instructor. And just in case y'all didn't know, she has a YouTube playlist that she shares with people. And she also does like private sessions, I think, for like $25 an hour. So very, very reasonable if anybody's trying to get into their body. And we're almost complete. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, these questions are so good that I don't know. Um, all you have to do, if you have the app on your phone, um, press like that go live thing, it allows you to schedule them. So that'll be dope for you to do. Okay, so, Does anybody wanna share from that prompt? Where have you given up on yourself? Where have you given up on the world? I can be transparent with y'all. So, I put like I had given up, especially on, like, personal upkeep. Like, 2025 was rough for everybody. Um, I had left a cult, left a job, got let go of a job from a job. It was a lot of stuff. I was in a PHP, partial hospitalization program for my mental health and burnout from the cult and the job. And so I know for me, even prior to all of that, when it came to just hair, doing my hair, caring about stuff, like the way I look, I just didn't care. Like, I think for me, that's where my um things kind of went sideways. But the beauty of community with Jackie and Sean on here, they kind of like pushed me to just be like, listen, it's like one of those church gatherings to the side. It's like, let's talk about this. And so it made me realize, because I think for me, I was giving myself the excuse of like, money, can't do it, everything costs, hair costs, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I remember doing my own hair for 3 years when I was back in Albany. I could do my hair again, right? Um, I was doing my own makeup then. I can do that stuff again. And so just putting effort, getting the desire to just put effort into what I looked like is a thing that I'm gonna continue to do going forward. Especially since I'm trying to be on these lives and YouTube and stuff. I reckon I should care. Um, where have I given up on the world? Anybody else want to share? Think out with the hearts before I share my thing. I'm going to keep going. If something pops up, I'll read it. Um, it says, "Where are you?" There's so many good questions. Where are you telling yourself that you're not ready? What are you waiting for? It's a two-part question. Where are you telling yourself you're not ready? What are you waiting for? And that's this Five of Cups energy that's crossing our full energy. Danielle, I knew I knew you would like that question. In what ways have you given up on the world? Mm, yeah. When it's a friend, it like hits close to home. When you read about it online, it's like the world is having these issues, but when it comes home, it's like, wait a minute, it could be me having these issues. Like, wait, it is me having these issues, you know? That I can definitely relate to that. Hope. That's real. That's real. I want to talk about that in a. Actually, let's talk about it now. Um, okay, my mama said fairness, truthful, safety, my self healing. Oh, for herself, healing, helping others, creativity. Hmm. Hmm. Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna start. Jackie, when you brought up something around hope, and that's really been it's been a struggle for me for a while too. 'Cause, like, even being victimized by just financially by the system, um, can be when you grow up around it and then you become an adult, it seems bleak, and then when you become an adult, and you still have issues with it, it seems bleak, but then you also look at the world issues and it's like, "Wait a minute." Um, and one thing I've struggled with my spiritual practice is sis always says one of the principles that we're supposed to always have is to always be hopeful, always think that things can get better, and I just be like, "Oh God." Um, how, especially when we look at the state of the world, and if you go deeper, there's always something happening, um, something crazy always happening, and for me, I know when I do that, I always look at myself personally, and I say to myself, "Okay." I think about universal laws. And I know that if I exist and I'm doing the work, that somebody else out there also exists and they're doing the work. And I know that if we two both exist, that means there are other people who are also existing and they're also doing the work. And that work will multiply and it will grow. And another thing that keeps me going is one of the practices or the truths of Ifa is that like there's so many like Ifa speaks on it being I didn't mean to talk about come on here and talk about Ifa, I'm sorry. If you're offended, please, sorry. But Ifa speaks on how the majority of the people in the world are liars. Okay, if you lie, you'll steal, you'll kill, you'll do so. All of these things that we see in this world, Ifa speaks on it. Most people are liars. Most people would rather lie than tell the truth. Most people would rather live and lie than be in truth. Um, and so I'm gonna read that in a second. And so good people don't have to be the thing about being good though is that there's one good person, it doesn't need that much good energy to overtake bad energy. So as these good people and good energy continue to grow and manifest and multiply, it will begin to overpower the bad stuff. And so I say that to say like my thing for like hope and just being quote unquote hope and just being positive about the future, staying positive, having faith that things will get better, is that if I'm doing what I can do, like the best of my ability, not being, then I know somebody else is doing the best that they can do in their ability, then that's gonna grow and continue to multiply. So that's how I keep faith alive. Dick Gregory said, F hope because you have to have a deep knowing. So I try to be the change I want to see rather than hoping for change, if that makes sense. Exactly. And that's exactly what I think we're touching on. Um, you do have to have a deep knowing. And it's like I said before, if you're being that change, there's somebody else that's also doing the work that's also being that change. And okay, Miss Anderson, you shared that you have given up in terms of healing, helping others, creativity, like when you touched on yourself. And I think you need to give yourself more grace and look at how much you've healed already. And not just like physical healing, because I know it's like a lot of like personal stuff you may have gone through, but like look at spiritually and emotionally how you've grown, how you set boundaries. And sometimes with helping others is like making sure you're helping the right people. And I don't want to put your business on blast, but when your heart is closed, like yours tends to be to people, you can also attract people who aren't continuously attract the bad people that you are frustrated with. And in terms of healing, you just need to think about how you and I have grown. Barbara Anderson, for y'all that don't know, is my mama, so I'm trying to be respectful, but also, you have to think about how you and I have grown and how we had a lot of traumatic relationships, and how even talking about this full moon in Cancer was talk about nurturing, and Cancer, because I have Chiron in Cancer, is talking about those foundational relationships and nurturing, you know? So a lot of the stuff we've processed together and healed through together, that is work we've done. So I don't think you should knock yourself on those things as progress. Your physical body, I understand the frustrations there. And I think that things can be more positive if you look at the work that you've done on an emotional, spiritual, and mental level to liberate yourself from. Because not a lot of mamas who are your age have done that type of work. Like, there are a lot of people who still have tainted relationships with their mama, who still are no contact with their parents, and I see it every day on the internet, so give yourself kudos for that. And creativity, you have to pace yourself with that. You'll get back to your jewelry making soon, I know. And you still found ways to create in terms of coloring and making puzzles to send to me, and I appreciate it. Misha, I self-isolate a lot, but also thrive in community. I struggle with finding the balance of sharing myself, but also protecting myself. Healthy boundaries are real. And that's the codependency work that I think that I know that Cancer also helps us look at. And codependency helps us to know who we should give to. It helps us to know to not give to others when we're not full, if our cups aren't overflowing. Even my mama always said this, like, only give for your overflow. It's not advice she followed, but she was always like, then give yourself as a cup. Only give from the overflow. The cup is gonna run over, but only give for the overflow. Um, I too self-isolate a lot. So yeah. I I will say that doing these online spaces have helped me thrive in community as well as help me keep my boundaries up. So I think once you and Jackie get together and how you're gonna share on Substack your gifts, that'll come more naturally too. Oh, yep. Sure. Misha has a Chiron in Cancer too. It's the real placement. It's a very real placement. I'm sorry, I've been talking. So the question was, if y'all have been doing this, where are you telling yourself that you're not ready? What are you waiting for? And if you've been working on it, go ahead, feel free to share some things. And this question again is a very important because this is crossing our new beginnings. This waiting and dwelling. Ooh, and I want to say this. I'm gonna shut up. I promise I'm gonna shut up soon. Sometimes we can also dwell on good things too. Like, we can dwell on, like, if we've manifested something, like, for instance, I use myself as an example. I love using myself as this. It's just because I believe that's the best way to teach, like, by using yourself, um, or just to share. So, like, if I have a good thing that goes on Substack and it gets a lot of views and stuff, I can easily dwell in that and be like, I just want that to be the one. I'm not gonna post anything else after that. It's like, no, you have to continue to grow. You have to continue to do and compound on the goodness. Because just like bad interest loans compound, good stuff compounds as well. And so if we dwell on bad things will continue to happen and occur. But let's not dwell on that good stuff. Let's continue to do and continue to move forward. Danielle, I'm working through it, but what was I am waiting for? Oh, wasn't waiting for imposter syndrome, doubt, and fear. But I am aware I'm working on it. And awareness is the first step. Awareness is the first step. Once you are aware of it, you can begin to do things to implement it. It's like I hear the thought, I know that's imposter syndrome, I know that's fear. Let me do something immediately that crosses that out. So as soon as you hear the thought, don't dwell on it. Do something, physically do something. If even if it's making a to-do list, checking something off of your to-do list, do something that's gonna block that thought off. I've been telling myself that I'm not ready to stand on my own, but I am, and I already have everything I need to thrive. I honestly don't know what I'm waiting for. I just need to do it. Bam! That's beautiful. That's a beautiful revelation. And it's a comfort that you have. You're comfortable with where you are. So you're gonna stay there. Just stay in there in comfort. Where you can embrace that newness. The fool isn't necessarily a comfortable energy because you're doing something new and different. Misha, I'm working through the fear of being self-employed. I know it's what I need to do, but entrepreneurship feels so scary. I agree with that a lot. hmm I'm working through that a lot too. I apply to jobs every day because I'm like, spirit